Hi folks, it's me again. Been a little while, about 2 months, 2.5 months since I did a video, and it's not because I died or it went away and stuff like this. As I was doing a lot of research and testing the effect of what are we achieving, and why are we achieving those effects. That was the one that was lacking in my understanding is why. In the last 2 months, I figure out I'm doing some tests and I answer a lot of the why question I had. It's hard to go forward when you have a good test and you can duplicate a test constantly, but you don't quite get it why that test goes that way. And that's one of the things, you really have to kind of set back a little bit and start to understand what we are achieving and how we were achieving it properly. And then that gave you the understanding of how you manipulate the element. And the biggest problem is people who don't understand how the element works. So, that's I'm doing a video today just to let people know how far we are going with this and how fast we're going with this. It should be faster, but I'm just doing what I got, and that's about as fast as I can go. The understanding of people, or the understanding of the people who think about AC currents, are so misunderstood, and where the AC come from is so misunderstood. The AC is literally manufactured by a pole transformer. What's going into the pole transformer is nothing to do with AC whatsoever. Um, you know, it, it's an RF volt. As I said before, volts equal volumes and pressure. So if you have lots of volts, lots of volume, lots of pressure. The way Tesla came out with his generator, it was making all the way up to 12 phase, and in some other phase generator, he was going for the frequency, the sine wave created from his generator. And because everybody think about a generator create a sine wave, that's what you have to use. No, the generator create an energy with volt and pressure and sine wave, but that energy if you use it that way, you're restricted. But if you release the energy from the sine wave, then you multiply and amplify the energy you just made by thousands of times. And to be able to do that is you have to remove the sine wave. Well, I figure out how to remove the sine wave, just like Tesla did. And everybody on all the power plant we have today, they're doing the same thing. They're still doing the same goddamn thing. So I didn't invent that. I just find out how they were doing it, and then I can prove how they did it, because I can do it myself.
That's always been important to you, right? Is to,
Well, yeah,
is to not continue going forward until you understand it
Well,
fully.
yeah, exactly. Like, how can you go forward if you don't understand what you have in your hand and you puzzle with it? You can't go forward till you thoroughly understand. The biggest secret is understanding how the element works. If you don't understand the element works, it's like the idiot that's chasing the flowing electrons. If you don't understand the electrons do not move, they create mass. They don't move. But you're working in science with the electron moving, well, you ain't going to achieve nothing, because that's why people cannot do what Tesla did. And it's been almost 150 years, and the stupid still doesn't know how Tesla did. But they go in their house at nighttime and turn the light that Tesla created. See, that's pretty stupid when it comes to a scientist. When they refuse to go back and walk back the stream to find out how it was done and how it works. Instead, they use their long words and their fancy word, no one understands it, so they can feel good about themselves. But the bottom line is, can you multiply and amplify power?
So what exactly are you working on? Because it was a while there when you, I should
Well,
say, 2.5 months or so.
I'm going to show people you can do the multiplication, is done by removing the sine wave. I'm not going to tell you how it's done, but that's how you have to do. You have to achieve is remove the sine wave, right? But what I'm doing right now, I'm doing a small generator, which will be about 20 amp, 120 volts, and that one I call them brute force power because I'm not multiplying and amplifying the sine wave. What I'm doing is I'm calculating the threshold of each element I'm using and only using 75% of their threshold because energy is very simple. It's an exchange of volume here and there, and you can do that all day long and gain out of it constantly. And that's what I'm doing with the little one, is to show, yes, mechanically you can do it, but you can only go so far. And so far is so far of your understanding, of willing of understanding you can do. Because only your own mind can keep you, in your little cocoon. If you don't open your mind, you're gonna still sitting in that cocoon for the rest of your life till you die. But if you open your mind up and said, hey, let's try to explain this, let's see what that phenomena is and how it works, then you will be able to ask the question why and then be able down the road to answer that question why. And when you answer that question why, then you can do your test over and over and it will verify what your answer is. And then now you're moving further. But, hopefully I'm just working on I got about 3/4 of a controller done. I'm building a master controller, which it's not a controller, it's a controller to run multiple type of motor. Matter of fact, this controller is to take a motor, no one will know, I can connect it to it, and the controller will find exactly what frequency and what volts with this motor would run at 100% efficiency. So, and then when I got the motor running perfectly, 100% efficiency with that controller, I just create a file. That's what the oscilloscope is for, I can create a file on my oscilloscope. I can down the file. The oscilloscope was going to give me the up and down in my motor on every single point.
So people are going to say that you've been talking about needing a controller for quite a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
What are some of the difficulties that when reaching out to others to say they can make a
After
controller?
3 years of doing that, I have to come to reality. Either North America, they're the dumbest son of a bitch in the world when it comes to electronics, right? Or they're just too fucking greedy. Because I had people asking me for $100,000, $200,000, $2 million from Anaheim just to modify their controller. So if that's not stupidity, then it's have to be fucking greed. There's no other way. There's no other thing like this, right? So to me, soon the controller will be done. This controller will be the master. So that's mean I'm removing all the fucking engineer off, and this controller will be my engineer. I'm going to plug to any goddamn motor, and I'm going to play with the controller till that motor start turning, and it's giving me 100%. And then I can create a file. Then I can build a sample controller. It will cost barely nothing with just that recipe in it. That's all that controller. The master controller is got a range from 0 to unlimited recipe in it, because I can change everything who goes out of that controller for what I go in.
So some people will probably ask, you were talking about 20 amp, 120 volt, you're working on that smaller unit. Why, some people are going to say if you know how to multiply, you know how to do this, why don't you go really big? What is the reason you're sticking with the 20 amp at the moment?
For testing. Because when you do something small and you test it and it works perfectly and you keep on going, then it's only your imagination who can keep you, there. If you have any type of imagination, then you will be able to figure out all kinds of stuff around that little guy. And that's what I'm trying to give, is try to wake up people, because you know what? If I gave people something is already it powers up the world, they won't fucking learn one fucking thing.
No, that's true.
Right? But if they have to build the goddamn thing and then see the result of it, they might learn something. Not all will learn.
Well, it can't be taken away from them once they understand how it works.
Well, if you have a little bit of brain up there. No, you can't. You know, unless someone wants to separate your head from your bodies, right?
So it seems like it's been a little quiet, obviously, in the video front, but you've garnered some interest.
Oh,
out
I
there.
have tons of interest because now everybody on the YouTube who's been researching natural energy or Tesla's is Tesla his big secret, right? They all come to conclusion. It's people out there, they've been up there for 25 years in Google, and they still have the same fucking thing today. I see a lot of stuff, people sending me a lot of video of people have unit, they worry about themselves, and you never see one fucking unit powering a house. But they say power house. Well, if they say it, connect the fucking house to it and power it, right? That's as simple as that. You know, if you have it, put it out there. I'll buy one, right? Because, you know, that's what I'm working on.
Take it apart the first day, probably.
No, I buy one and use it. You know why? I like having free electricity, free energy also, right? But why those things are not available to people? Like EKG, right? QE, whatever the other one is.
QEG, yeah.
QEG, right? They can only help you. They cannot remove the house from the grid. So you have to be still connected to the grid. So it makes no sense, in other words, right? So when I have something, I can do 120 volt at 20 amp. It's a show and tell for people. And that I'm going to be releasing it as a small generator who run by itself with no battery. You do have to start it. You know, you can look at a chainsaw all day long, and if you don't pull that pull start to start it, the same thing with the lawnmower. You do have to have a primary. Everything in Tesla Tesla was using a primary mover. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's got to have a primary mover to start it. Without a primary mover, someone with a rope starts spinning this thing, you ain't going to get it going.
So as far as the channel goes, what can people expect from you over the next few months?
Well, hopefully the little guy will be tested, you know, and I'm trying to get something by the end of this month or the next month out to be able to release to people. To said, now we have a place that's going to be manufacturing this unit. Is going to be a small generator, a camper for going out. So you're going to have 20 amp of use. You can cook. You can light up yourself. You can watch your movie. You can do this. You can run a fan. And if it's by yourself, 20 amp, you can run, you know, a small fridge or a small air conditioning.
And there's no running to the gas station.
There's no running to the gas station, right? So all you have to do to start it, it's for camping. I'm building that for camping, boat, you know, go hunting. Is you plug into your car, you press the button, the light is red. Soon the light turns green. Take your finger out the button, disconnect the little cord from the unit, roll that up, put it on your glove compartment. It's running. That's it. It will never stop till you turn it off. It runs by itself. No battery. It's only got 3 caps in it and a special capacitor because you can't use a regular capacitor to do a full loop. You need special capacitor to have the you need capacitor who can actually move watts through it. They need to move currents. Most cap doesn't move current, they move volts, right? And you need a cap who stay charged. A capacitor have to stay like a fountain. Fountain, water guys out of a fountain. That's what makes a fountain. Well, that capacitor have to do that with volt. Volt have to come out of it constantly. So you can bounce volts over it. If it stay charged constantly and is guising, you can bounce over that. By the time you bounce that, you power to it, then you have no loss. That means now you have a perfect loop. You don't need no battery. You have your capacitor. You just loop it up. If everything is calculated properly, as soon as it reaches its working RPM, it takes over. Matter of fact, it will take over at 75% of its RPM, and it will bring itself up by itself at that point in time. And then putting a load on it won't slow down the generator because the way it is winded, it won't slow down the generator. It will just keep the generator on the load. You will see the generator. You will hear the generator changing sound. The sound will be real. I mean, you're going to have your ear on it. You will hear a different sound because you have magnet. Well, when you put a load on the magnet, those magnets vibrate and they create a sound. because look, if you can look in the internet, a lot of people now, they use a little electric motor with magnet and they make speaker out of it. And people doesn't believe me, look it up. Magnet motor speakers. And everybody was laughing at me, 2 years ago when I was said the sound was coming from the motor at the RC motor. And everybody was laughing at me. They told me I was an idiot. Oh really? If you send RF signal into a goddamn motor with a square wave, and the square wave is got the up and down for note or audio, you will have music coming out of your motor. And it's not turning, it's just playing music. So, a lot of people call me stupid. I don't really care as far as I'm concerned, right? I'm doing my thing, but it goes down to every time I say something down the road, people prove it is right what I'm saying, right? And it's been like this all the time.
Maybe you should touch real quickly on why the comments were turned off. People are going to think that you don't like the open discussion or something.
It got too stupid. I mean, not because of the comment. I don't really care when people call me fucking an asshole.
Yeah, but you also like supportive comments as well.
Well, yeah, I like to read the comment because it tells me where the real people is at, right? But then YouTube start fucking around with my comment and removing all of my comment before I can read it, and people say, well, you never get in the comment. Well, I never see it, right? So if you want to do something to get the comment, but just go and kick fucking YouTube's ass, because they fucking everything. YouTube and Google right now, they're the fucking enemy of this planet.
No, I completely agree. At first, I wasn't sure what exactly it was, but someone's absolutely manipulating.
Oh yeah, it's finger on the keyboard, right? And they have thousands of those people they're fucking paying just to disturb the system, right? They don't want you to use the system freely and having this opening of the world, right? So they're going to fuck you up one way or the other. Well, that's their way to fuck up, so that's why I cut the comment up. You can't have troll without comment. I mean, the troll won't go to your email. I have one person that tells me he's an asshole once every 2 weeks. I just delete it, right?
Yeah, so if you really need to, if you want to contact Gerard, you make sure you email the email at the end or in the email. Description.
I mean, like, I read my email every day and stuff like that. Since you were gone, I start cleaning up the email and cleaning up, and then I'm doing it every day, and I thanks everybody who phone me just to thank me and stuff like that, and I read every single email. If I would sit down and answer every email, I wouldn't do nothing, right? So anybody, please don't get upset if I don't return your email by a personal email. It's just too many of it. I mean, just right now, I'm storing over 3,000 email that I think is interesting for me to reread, right? So that's the one. That's not the one I write off. How many we write off? Like, from when we started, 5,000, 6,000, maybe more.
Maybe more, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's I wouldn't need a crew of people just to do my email. We're only one person on that one, Josh or myself. So that's why I don't answer a whole lot of email. But I thank everybody who support me in the email and stuff like this. I appreciate hearing something, you're doing something good and blah, 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 right? I like, it always feels good, and there's always a feather in your hat.
And there really is a community of people that truly want what you're going after and what other people are going
absolutely.
after.
I'm talking to people, from the Middle East, and my stuff is taught in school in 3 different countries. Pakistan, India, and what's the other country? The next country. They're teaching the voodoo machine. I call the voodoo machine the little machine I made, right? People cannot explain why from the end of the power line I can make a loop and make it spark on its own, right? Well, I know why, but people can understand it. All the scientists they're locked there. They cannot figure that one out, right? Because they just don't want to accept what I'm saying, right? But they can see the result. They can see a 5/8 of an inch spark going back into the wire. That means the end of the wire have about maybe 10 to 15,000 volt more than what the same wire's got here, and isn't right.
Well, it's already sparking.
Exactly.
Already. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, like but they cannot So that's why we have scientists. Our science today, they have their head and their ass so deep they think they can see the light. No, you try to figure that out. If you put your own head and your own ass, how can you see the light? Right? You're making a loop there, and there's no light in that loop. So I mean, like, we're living in a world of stupid, and we're not just living in a world of stupid. We're living in a world of science of stupid. And look what it gets us, right? I mean, people can afford hydro, people can afford the gas for running in their car, right? Well, it won't be on any of that stuff anymore. Gas will be eliminated because I figure a way how to prime the nitrogen in the air, like they've been doing that with your car from day one. The fuel you put in your tank is not a fuel, it's a primer, my friend, because half a drop of gas on a single cylinder 4-stroke motor, 10 horsepower, half a drop of gas it takes to make the piston go up and down 4 times under compression. And you tell me that half a drop of gas got that kind of energy to do that? Bullshit. I call bullshit on that on all the goddamn engineer. Is 80% of the air we breathe is an explosive. It's called nitrogen. And this is what is running your vehicle, it's running your plane, it's running your boat, it's running everything. It's because we prime the nitrogen at a certain level. And I figure out how to prime it under a negative pressure so it's safe. So you don't prime it on positive pressure so you can create a disaster. You prime it on a negative pressure, inside the motor on a negative pressure, and it's totally safe. If there's any leak from there, from the nitrogen, after it goes to a positive pressure, it neutralizes itself. And the nice thing about it is when you burn a nitrogen with its prime with high frequency, the final coming out of your exhaust is oxygen and CO2. That's it. Because you're not putting any carbon shit into it. Because your fuel you're putting in your tank gets out, it changes form, it gets out in carbon monoxide in the other end of the pipe. It's poison.
So, back on the other thing, that was considering how close you are on multiple projects. You've shown a number of them, and some have led you to other areas, and the ones also that you have under works now. That not everyone that you're showing. These are what would you say to people that want to get involved? Like they say, okay, well, hey, we're looking to back something like that. What do we do?
Well, I mean, like, you can always, go out there and I have a company and we open a company in the States, Earth Energy. You can always go through Earth Energy, right? And that's where you should be going, Earth Energy. And send me an email, contact me, and I can transfer that to Earth Energy, or you can go directly to Earth Energy to be able, if you want to help the system. I could use a hand if I can find a person who know about electronics who can build, a circuit that I could use, but I can't find those. They seem to be not existent in North America.
So you're also in your words there. If you read between the lines, you're also saying that there really truly is ownership and reward there for someone who can truly do that.
Anybody who comes out with a controller, I call it a test controller or a prototype controller, right? Who work on those motor, right? And if we matter of fact, I would rather have him coming with the controller, and he sits here and we will test this controller for 2 weeks. And if this controller fit the criteria and it does what it's supposed to do, right? I'll give him the guy $100,000 at the spot. And the controller, all this technology will be protected, right? So we won't take the technology off the guy. And he will make a shitload of company. You have to understand, the controller will work on every goddamn motor we can put our hand on. So how many motors out there just around this planet? Trillions.
Mm-hmm.
Trillions.
But you actually already have the parts there for yourselves, but you'd feel more comfortable with having a true electronics guy there.
I'm not advanced. I built the other day, and I built a multiple frequency generator, and I put it together in an hour and a half. So I'm not totally stupid in electronics. I just don't know enough about how MOSFET works and transistor works. And I mean, I've been playing for that now, and I'm learning more about it for the last month and a half. But you know, if it's someone who's got the knowledge of it, and he can say, hey, I can do that. I mean, I've been waiting for people, you know, for months and months and months and months. I mean,
Still
I got
nothing.
people 2-3 weeks. I can build you a controller. We've been feeding them for a while, for months now. It's about almost 5 months, and I still didn't see fuck all. Right? In the meantime, I'm trying to do my best here.
So if you really think you got something, then contact Earth Energy.
Yeah, contact Earth. If you think you can do something, but I tell you something, anybody who asks money ahead is a fucking fraud.
Yeah.
Simple as that. He's got nothing.
You prove it, and then the
We
reward's
prove
there
it
for you.
with Thomas Bowie, you know, and I'm not going to say another name, but you know, the next couple of months, nothing comes out of it. This name's going to come out. Bullshit.
Bullshit artists.
Yeah, you know, they're just scammers. That's all it is. And I, people say, you know, a lot of people, not a lot, but some people call me a scammer. Did I ever try to sell something yet?
No.
Right? No. Everybody else is trying to sell something who doesn't fucking work. Why should I sell something if I don't have something to work
Well,
properly?
if people watch your videos, they don't understand how open you are about all this already, then they're beyond help.
Well, they're beyond help. People, they watch one video and they ask me stuff, and I get another 5 video of it. Why can't he watch the other video? Right? How
Right.
to put the little machine together. We made a video on that. How the part, we take picture. Never mind the fucking part list. I'm sending you a picture of the fucking unit. Now, if you don't have enough intelligence to look at a picture and go to a place where you can buy this thing and say, that's what I want. Right? Oh, that's right. The people behind the counter, they're fucking stupid. They need a part number. Oh, that's what's going on. Well, there you go again. Stupid. Right? We're living with a whole fucking stupid. So the world is built of it. But anyway.
But there is lots to be hopeful in with what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
As final
Like, you know,
words
I
here.
don't see. To me, I don't really give a shit about the of the world, right? As far as I'm concerned, the world, you know what I feel about it. But in the end of the day, I will have powers, and I will have a shitload of it, right?
And you are willing to share that with
and I'm
people.
willing to share it, right? But you know, I'm not going to be going out there to your place and putting power in. You're going to have to grow some ball and do it yourself, or hire somebody to do it if you don't want to do it, right? I'm just one person. Simple as that. I can only hold one shovel in my hand to dig that ditch, and it's a long fucking ditch to dig. So, but anyway, folks, that's all I wanted to tell you today. Just to let you know, I'm not dead yet. I know I'm pretty much alive. We're sitting here. It's hot as hell, you know, and
Beautiful.
it's beautiful, you know, and we keep on going. So, I mean, people want to keep on watching. If you have something to say, say it. If you want to contact Earth Energy and talk to Leanne, you know, she's the one over there who do all the stuff in the States. Since I cannot go in the States doesn't really like me. It's a long story. I won't go into it. So, and what's going in the States right now, I'm not in any key to go there anyway. We have enough of our own problem with Trudeau, so, you know.
No doubt.
But yeah, so I figure, you know, if with no help, probably by the end of summer would help. If someone would come up here and says, I can do something for that controller, we could be out 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Right? It's all depends that. Without a controller control everything. That's what it's
Wait
called.
till people see what's in there.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
excited.
that's what the controllers mean. It does everything. It controls things, right? So, but yeah, I mean, like, you know, we can go. I'll give you a little peek. Actually, I'm not going to give you a peek. I'm not going to give you a peek. I was going to give you a peek, but I'm not going to give you a peek. I want to just a little bit more time into it, and then after that, I'll give you guys a peek. You know, and then you'll be able to see this thing running. No batteries. I just showed my friend there. You know, I'm going to run this tiny little light, right, which is like a second sun.
Yeah. I'm still seeing spots.
And it's still seeing spot. So you know, and I'll be able to run that thing all by itself, just to prove the loop. And I think we're going to put it on a camera, on live camera, for a while, I think, for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
So-
might do a time lapse or
yeah, time lapse
something.
or on time or whatever, right? So you guys, you can go there and sit in the front of your TV and watch that thing spinning and wondering when I'm changing the batteries, because
Yeah.
there's none.
Yeah, you
Right?
go ahead and record
You
it.
can go sit in the front of your TV and grow old, and watch that thing and see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna do today, and just to let you know, we're still working. I just got out of the phone with Michael Dallinger, which is very excited, and he's kind of mad. He flew over me without stopping saying hi.
Yeah, many people know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, so many people, and Stephen Greer, not interested. I'm not interested of working with him. A lot of people, they work with him, they want me to work with him, and I'm not interested.
Something
I just
fishy
don't,
there.
I just don't trust him. So hey, you got to take it where it is, and that's at that point in time, I'm pretty much controlling how far and how fast the stuff is coming out. So, and there's no other people will do it. But in the meantime, we're having fun. We're trying to. So, give me an email if you have something to say. Just even say thank you or screw you, whatever. Just send me a line, and and I'll find out. What I like. The trolls don't like using my internet because they have to use they don't like to use email because then their address is tied up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but anyway, folks, I will probably do another video in the next couple of weeks to give you another update, and I'm going to try to keep it sooner and sooner. But my uploader guy was gone and got married in the last couple of months, so
Yeah.
so that's why I just got it back. That's why we're doing that today. So, in the meantime, you guys have a great summer or great July, great 4th of July for the people in the States. We already have our 1st of July here, so you guys have a good day and keep healthy.